It's like, how? How are you that light?
No, you said
80?
70.
I'm only at
Oh,
Are we
70?
done being red sails now, Aaron?
I'm at 56.
I'm at 109.
Yeah, Aaron.
You're obviously not carrying a spear gun.
No,
I see. I
I need
carry
a
I don't need
spear
a
gun,
spear
guns
just in
just in
gun.
case.
I'll
How
swipe
was
them.
it today?
Well, we were
Today
nice
was
to the one
wet
black sail.
dawn. Wet
All we,
dawn.
Yeah, that
That
was
was
if it wasn't,
dangerous.
if it wasn't for the headaches, we could have chased whoever it was that took the navy.
Hmm.
Wet dawn. Saw them
The
both
wet
15
dawn.
times.
The wet dawn.
I was daydreaming and I got fucking disappointed for you guys.
Ugh.
Yeah, I don't know how you get to complain when you weren't even, conscious for like 90% of it.
I just had an inkling that we wouldn't find any fights, you know?
Thought we would. And the one
I
that
think
we
we would have had a fight
had
in like 3 sailors.
surrendered because they'd already got their ass beat twice by the Navy.
Well, they didn't get their ass beat. They got stopped by the navy twice and gave up their thing.
But
What
like,
kind of fucking pirates is that?
but like, if we were sail, we would just be stealing from the white sails, fighting all the red sails.
You know, after seeing that poor show of piracy, you can give the seas some better pirates, right? They deserve it.
They should go back to being white sails.
I don't know. There's just so much a lot to figure out with that.
Like what?
What exactly is stopping us?
Like, give us the list.
Look, the
Well,
big
for
thing I
one-
can see is...
Oh,
all-
shh.
Okay, I'll let him go.
Oh.
I'll let him cook.
You're fine. Give me the list.
For one,
Cooks.
we potentially put a huge target on our backs for tearing down the red. And go through exactly what you went through before, Brad, willingly.
But then we would get fights.
You're already going through what we went through.
We're not being hunted down.
I mean, the big
We're not...
thing... No. The big thing I said is... I don't know how you lot are expecting to make a living with the waters being like that out there. I mean, if that's not important at all, then it sort of is what it is, but...
I think it's we keep. So we make decent coin with all the times we get pirated after everyone goes back to bed.
But like, what do we even do with that coin? Buy plants.
I mean, making a living
Funny
is
that we
important,
do.
but there's a fair amount of things to take into consideration. Like, I do see Aaron's point of view on things, right? So, here's what happens, right? If you make the decision, you go black, you get a little bit more action out there, right? Because, I know as good as anyone, even if your folks are happy and they're not hungry, but things get a little too quiet, folk tend to get a little quiet. That's always problematic, right? But if you do go black, you are going to paint a target on your back. Like, the Navy's not going to take it super lightly, though with how they've been dealing with pirates, maybe they won't fucking care. Who knows? Either way,
He's
you're
on
in a
his shoulder.
port
His shoulder.
where...
It's a rabbit.
Oh.
Either way, your port's known to other red sails and known to the Navy. The second they see black, you are going to be defending your port non-stop. So, one of the big problems is you're likely going to be either fighting off sieges all the time, or you're finding a new home, one place or another. So I do understand that, right? Like, that is a problem for a lot of folk. It's just a matter of when does that problem start to outweigh other problems, right? Like,
Yeah, what are your
if you can't
priorities
make
here?
coin, if your coin does dry up, because you're not able to make it out there, then you've got issues. And if your coin then starts coming from just trading with the Navy or whatnot, you might as well be white sails, right? So it's a matter of what your intent is and how you want to make your coin and make your living and go about your life.
Right.
End of the day. Like, as much as we say and we poke and we prod and we jest with you lot, we want you to do what's best for you in the end.
It's
we
a
see
lot
things
different,
certain way, but
Jay, than if we had just been black sails from when we were deciding on what
Yeah.
we to do.
Uh,
And we decided, you know, red was
I'm
better
gonna be
for.
honest. I feel like I'm an ass crack away from just eating a fucking cookie at this point, though.
That's a
That's
description.
that's always your prerogative,
Didn't know
whatever
that
you
was
want to
the
do.
unit of measurement.
Whose ass crack is it? Is it if it's yours? Then you know it's still pretty far.
that's very wide.
It's the bunny's ass crack.
It's very tight.
It doesn't have an ass crack.
I need a. Do we have an HR department? I need to file a complaint.
I guess that would be me.
Yeah, that'd be
Um,
Reese. He takes care of everything else at this point. Anything
Well,
paperwork
you know,
related.
okay. Well, I have a complaint because a fair is trying to sell raffle tickets to auction me off.
That is
Oh.
not happening, and no, we are not doing that.
But I love auctions.
What if it's like a fake auction and we just
No.
take the money at the end?
But I am not a like I told him fair. I'm not a
That's
prize
called
cow.
piracy.
Thank you.
So, we
How much would
Is that not called
stand to
piracy?
make?
You're stealing.
See,
Say
here's the thing. She's auctioned me off to get me hitched. Because every time I see my brother,
Oh.
he asks me, "Why aren't you married yet?" And
I guess-
I'm good, thank you.
I guess, you know, taking up the black would come down to it would have to be everybody's choice at this point because there's not we don't care about losing our mark, but we're not trying to just throw it away and put the giant target on. Plus we also just finally got settled and didn't have to move again after my company moving 3 times and Southpaw moving to here from where they were. I think you moved once before, no?
No, we
That's
were
just the
the
one.
only thing we moved from was the island that we built the ship on, and that was
Okay.
like it. Like we weren't even there that long.
We had one island, someone put a flag down right as we were about to, so we just dipped off of that one. We went to another island, I believe in A3. Didn't like our neighbors. Got really crowded because we started growing. We were going to take where the sirens are. And then they took that one, so we came here. Or where the sirens bar is, one of the two.
Yes, because there was another private. It was Red Dawn. Red Dawn was there, right?
Yeah, Red Dawn
And
was
then
there,
they-
and then Red
because
Dawn
they
moved.
They allied with Dire Crow.
Right, and that seems to be the big stopgap, right? Is moving, and I can entirely understand that, right? Like, it's not something easy to do. It's not an overly challenging process as a whole if you have a place to go, but for folk who have moved about, you know, you know, your home does matter, and who you share your home with also
You're just
matters.
fucking itchy today.
But
I am.
it really comes down to, you know, what you lot are looking for out on the water, right? Like, again, we're not going to force anything, and whilst we enjoyed the company of everyone, and we did have a good time out there, even if there wasn't a whole lot to be said, us going out on red sail vessels is a very big deal for us, right? Like, that is something we swore we would never do again. So, doing it the once with you lot, it's a big leap in our terms, and it's not likely to be something that happens on a regular basis, right?
Fine.
It's just not a place that we have preference to be.
Well, we certainly appreciate y'all coming out with us tonight. It was fun. You know, like I said, it wasn't a whole lot going on, but it was still fun.
And we do appreciate the invitation. Like I said, I hope that it does speak the volumes that it should, that we were willing to do so with you lot. We have grown to be very fond of the folk here, but I mean, doing so is something that goes very against our moral character and things we've come to believe over time. I'm not saying the Navy that you're dealing with is the same Navy we dealt with, but a lot of foul memories under those colors.
That's
And
the
I
unfortunate
understand
thing.
that.
The Navy's been nothing but good to us the entire time, minus the 2 maps they quote-unquote stole that I joke about, and then cutting the trees, which they gave her 2 fountains, which I think she'd happily trade every tree in the area for the fountains.
and finding a black sail for watching the sink. But you know,
Oh, that one
Um,
too. Yeah, that's the big thing. That left my memory.
And
mean, that
stopping and
alone-
searching your vessel at 4 a.m.
the not sinking the pirate vessel and finding them a small amount of gold, not even, you know, capturing them, marking them, anything like that. That would have been enough for me personally. But also, I'm very jaded in that regard. So
I think
we
that's
dealt
the
with a lot
first.
of Navy bumbling.
That's the first actual strike that we've had. And we're kind of looking at everything as like from then on. And then Red Dawn went out and sunk the ship for us and did much more than the Navy did.
To be fair, I
Just-
think the Navy is
Go ahead.
slightly different than ones that we have, dealt with in the past. I think maybe that they're trying to be a little bit better than they were before, which I can accommodate for them, but I'm also waiting for the nickel to drop and for them to fuck right up.
The way we've always
And
seen it,
on
and I don't think it's
Oh.
ever going to change. The Navy, you're treated decently until they feel like they don't need you. So
Oh, for sure.
And on the topic of the Red Dawn sinking a ship for us, I just feel like they're blowing smoke up our ass, but maybe I'm jaded in that regard.
They would have done it regardless.
I
yeah,
think they
they're
would have done it
outperforming,
regardless. They're picking for they're looking for a fight, and because we were there and talking with them, they're like, "Oh yeah, we absolutely sunk the ship for you." We were so mad when that happened. Like,
They weren't mad. They
Hard
did
to-
it for themselves.
yes, that is why I'm like, I don't believe it.
That's a fair
just
point.
Me. Everyone
mean, they
can believe
visited-
what they want. Yeah.
Oh, go ahead, finish your thought, please. I
Oh
didn't
no,
mean to,
it's
but-
just everyone can believe what they think, but in my heart, I know that they just want to fight, and they would have done it regardless, whether or not it was righteous for us or they just want to get sinks. So
Yeah,
take
they
it as
came
you
by
will.
our port and played their nicey nice while two of their crew were downplaying the names of all of our vessels, right? So we're not stupid. We knew what was going on, but we just rightfully don't fucking care because we're not really afraid of them.
I'll be honest, outside of the faux fire and the skunk, because you say them all the time, I don't know any of the names of your vessels. I barely remember the name of ours.
Horde and there's Horde and Bucket. There's the Faux Fire, the Skunk, and the Wooden Training Sloop.
The bucket's the crazy looking one, right?
The
that's
Horde
And then
and
there's
Bucket
2
are
million
both
wood.
blue.
Can't forget about 2 million wood.
Yeah, you can't
million
forget
wood?
2 million wood. Yeah.
Oh, I don't know if I've ever paid attention.
That's Anchor's brig that is for collecting 2 million wood.
And then
Can
it's
you
getting scuttled.
relax, man? Please.
No.
I just want to punch something.
So,
Speaking of,
can I ask you
going-
something?
Mhm.
Oh, you go ahead. You talk.
I was just going to make a quick mention, Aaron. Speaking of going back out, I do not believe we would have a bosun if we were to go back out.
Bosuns aren't important.
They are
I've
very
always
Wow,
contributed
thank you.
important.
Well, fine.
That
you know
is,
what, next
I
time
say
I'm
that
going
is
to
the
let
biggest
you
joke
say-
in the world. I'm married to a bosun.
She's been-
Yeah, I'd be careful saying that.
I know the bosuns are more important than me. Anyone can steer the ship.
You haven't seen me steer a ship. You wouldn't say that off of that.
She can
I'm-
hit a
I'm right
flank,
there.
but she's not steering the ship.
I'm right there
You
with
don't
her. I
want me
can
steering
I
the
can
ship.
steer a ship, but I ain't good at it. Don't have to be good at it to get from point A to point B.
I scare Carly regularly because I'll just go in full sail towards the shore and she's like, "What are you doing?" I'm like, "Drop anchor and then spin." And she's like, "What the hell?"
No, you just
Ah,
go
the
full-
Jiminy
full
Bobbity.
Jiminy Bobbity. Yeah.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
I kind of took it up because there was nobody else who wanted to do it at the time.
That's how I became a captain. And then it sticks with you.
I was just a cannoneer. You had something you wanted to say?
Oh yeah, I'm so sorry.
Go ahead, Ricky.
Hmm?
You had a question.
Oh. No, it's not a question. Well, it's kind of a question.
You said you had a question.
You did say question.
Oh my. Because it's kind of a question. Okay, fucking hell. Okay, so when I'm trying to decide something, I will try to picture in my head that thing has already happened. And I will try and figure out how I feel about it in that moment. So, say you were Black Sail, like you ate the cookie, you know, you're Black Sail. Does it feel better or does it feel worse?
Don't know.
Well, everyone knows my answer.
Do you feel
Jay,
worse?
all you
Do
care
like,
about is
"Alright,
shooting cannons.
I'm a pirate." Well, no, okay, but even if it's subtle, like you're like, okay, I'm Black Sail. You feel like a or you feel like, oh shit.
A bit of both. It's there's more opportunity out on the water, but I've also just contributed to possibly putting everyone here in danger. And that's why
You're
it's
already in danger.
Yeah, I mean that's the thing. We're already in danger. We're reds. We're flying the red. We're in danger from.
Every time we step out on that deck, we are in danger.
I mean, you
Yeah,
all
so
chose...
it's not gonna make a
Go ahead.
difference whether we're black or black or red. We're still gonna be in danger no matter what.
Cannonballs don't really have that kind of bias.
Yeah, they don't really
Yeah.
discriminate, but I'm going to be honest. You lot put your entire everything in danger by having us on board tonight. You made that decision, right? Like, if you were found out
Oh,
with
of
us on
course.
board, there's a strong chance you just outright lose your mark. So,
On how I look at it is, we went red sail to get our crew experience, but we're not really getting much experience from the
we've also only sailed out about 3 or 4 times in total in the last about 2
That's
weeks.
Full group, yes.
We struggled most nights to get enough people to go out.
If you're looking for experience, you see a lot of red sails. You don't get experience shooting other red sails.
so again, I guess my kind of last word on it. And again, please don't ever take anything I say as trying to force you to make a decision. But you've got your red sails here, and your relationship with the Navy and the other red sails. You've got a bit of comfortability here, right? Things are comfortable. But are you truly comfortable? Like in your own skin? Is this where you feel like you're supposed to be? Take all the comforts aside. Set everything you have here aside, right? All the ships and the buildings and your relationship with the Navy. At the end of the day, does that say to you? Is that what makes you feel comfortable? Because if the answer is yes, then this is where you should be. If it's not, well, perhaps another way.
To be fair, I'm good in whether put me on a ship. I can smack planks. I don't care what color they fly. I can cook, smack planks, and do what I need to do. Don't matter what.
See, I am the person who could go either way. I only care really about the people close to me. I don't care anything about anyone else. It's just, I guess I am waiting to see what everyone wants.
Nice. See, the way I see it is that right now, we got white sails walking all over us, these little civilians that think they can just walk around and say whatever. We got these Red Dawn people just stepping on our toes everywhere we go. They're already there. We got the Navy just walking all over us. Oh, you're going to take care of 40 of our guys. Now, it would be nice to have the freedom to be able to handle the situation on our own.
Frankly, I thought my mom was gonna disown me when I told her I was flying a red sail. Family's always.
Yeah, that's also a thought. What would our parents think, Aaron, if they knew we were
Oh, I
sailing
know
red
exactly
right
what
now?
my mama would say. Daddy too.
Jay,
We're both
we're the
black."
reason they retired.
Yeah, but they were still pirates. You think they'd be
But,
happy if we were sailing red?
but
That
with the
being said,
amount
I
of
don't
red
feel like
sails,
moving.
I mean, with the amount of red sails that we saw out there today, we change our sail color, we fly black, we're gonna end up running into getting the fights that we're looking for.
But is looking for the fights worth, you know, the possibility of somebody, you know, not making it back to port every day?
I mean, you get that even
That's
with red
already a
sails.
risk.
You get that either way, but
I don't know if there's no
the
fights.
Red
It's not really a
Dawn, the
risk.
Navy.
At that point,
Yeah, I
why are
mean-
you red sailing in the first place, though? Why don't you just trade port?
That's fair.
Look, the only thing that matters, ship can sink. That who gives a fuck if the ship sinks? But at the end of the day, it's the crew. Make sure they get home.
Mm.
That will be something we'll need to teach our people is the buddy systems with the grapples, even the curses, and pushing through under sailings, just in case we do end up sinking and need to swim to shore. That is a special training that you need to kind of know what to do.
Mm-hmm.
That's a skill I'm more than happy to pass on to folk. Been there too many
Right, you
times
know?
myself, yeah.
Yeah, I've
Brad,
been
you
there
can't
a couple
teach the
times.
dolphin and cocaine thing. That's just a one-time
And
shoot.
that's
That
why you always
My
have one
dolphin
of
and
these.
cocaine.
yeah,
Oh,
he
have
was
I not
rescued
told
by
them
the
that story?
dolphins with the cocaine.
Yeah, no, one of our worst vessel losses, I was stranded out in the middle of the ocean. No land to be seen. I was tired as hell. I was just exhausted. So, I consigned myself to the seas, and I did a little bit of cocaine about it, right? So, you know, in that light haze, as I was drifting down into the water, a trio of dolphins managed to nestle themselves up behind me
I mean,
and push me all the way to shore.
Oh, nice.
Surprised they didn't
We're
drag
pre-
you down under and have their way with you.
So am
See,
I.
we're
But
we're pretty sure he was just so high on the cocaine that you know, he imagined all that. But
He was
He's
actually just
actually-
like on the beach,
hard 'cause they have
just like,
such
oh,
good
the
points."
dolphins are helping me, you know, like fucking. Mm-hmm.
It's
But
Okay,
you know,
dolphin.
we
Just
built
push 'em
something
around
here
the
on our
beach.
own.
yeah,
look, unless the cocaine
I
actually
just-
manifested in Island,
If the server
don't
was
know
more
how that's
popular, we
possible,
wouldn't
so-
have to have this conversation.
that's the thing.
If
you
they,
were
well, not
already
the server,
on
but if the game
island.
was more popular.
Yeah.
you know, there was a point where I was sober beforehand. Well, sober-ish. But
So
I don't know
Like
what
I said.
sober is.
He was like just laying on the beach, and like the waves were just like, you know, coming in and making him think he
needless
was
to
still
say,
out in
no,
the
that's,
ocean.
that's not a standard survival tactic that can be taught, no. But
No. Open up on you.
Dolphins always try to
partner.
kill me.
I punched a
the therapy
salmon and I
must have
saw
been
a school
straining.
about 60 of them coming at me.
That was fucking terrifying.
Yeah.
Moment of
That was
desperation.
on that,
we're like, we
the
don't have
cannibal island.
food.
Cannibal
Yeah,
pirate
and we're on
island.
the Cannibal Island, and we did not have food, and we were just like, oh fuck, we just have to get whatever. We didn't have a campfire and no resources. It was awful.
just eating fistfuls of cilantro, yeah, I remember that shit.
Ah, the
Done
fun
that.
times.
It was all. I think it
I
was
love
all
cilantro.
this time.
I did
fucking
too,
hate that
until
soap-ass
this
shit.
deployment.
They were eating they were eating lots of garlic and parsley before I started cooking. So much garlic.
Slurpee made it worse. When he started actually making meals, he put fucking cilantro in everything like an asshole.
Only the first day.
Cilantro tastes like soap.
Agreed.
It was only the first few meals I made.
It's alright, you did
Stop.
your best.
Yeah, he was like, make
He's
me
gonna
some
hold
food.
that over
I'm
your head
like,
forever.
go get me this, and I'm like, go get me this crop, and he's like, but, and I'm like, oh, and I also need this book.
But end of the day, whatever decision you make, we support it. But like I said, you do go black, you're gonna get a bit of a hellstorm down on you in this place. So
Part of the reason why it's a tougher decision because we've literally made a home here already.
To me, it looked like he.
Aye. And as long as everyone's comfortable and happy with that, I can see a potential reason to stay. And do as you do.
We just keep building the fuck you wall further and further out. Every time we win a siege, it gets further.
Just add layers, you know, just do one layer, then another layer, then another layer.
Mm-hmm.
Call it port onion.
You're ogres.
That's honestly
there.
pretty good. That's honestly pretty good reason.
But like was mentioned, you know, the color we sail does offer you the freedom to pick and choose how you let folks deal with you. Shit like what the Dappers did, crew large enough, roll up on them, tell them how business is. I mean, we also have a fair amount of white sails that deal with us in a rather positive manner, and most of which not very happy to deal with privateers or the Navy, outside of ripping the
I feel
Navy
like
off
there's
and taking all their coin.
more white sails who dislike privateers and Navy than there is that dislike pirates.
When you sign up to be a privateer, you sign up to be liked by the Navy and potentially other privateers. That's your lot in life at that point. I'm not saying that's all
Paid
that can happen,
snitch.
but that's effectively where it ends up, right?
It's definitely a lot to think about.
It is, and they're not decisions to be made lightly. So, again, we appreciate you lot taking the risk and having us on board. We did enjoy getting to know a fair amount of the rest of the folk that we hadn't had the chance to do so with yet.
Yeah, you gotta see how crazy we all are.
You know, I can't say it's not without ulterior motive of the rare chance that you kind of see how not bad the red is this time around. But I also understand your history.
Yeah. Unfortunately, it's never going to be a matter of this time around. It's a long-standing thing with us that we're never turning our back on the black again. That's just not ever going to be something that happened. It's more than simply the red faulted us, right? We had a taste of a different life, and we know what we are now, right? We've been around the block. Short of joining the Navy, and that's never going to happen.
Who the fuck ever wants to join the Navy? It's too much
Right.
paperwork.
And you
Short
have to
of
wear
that,
shirts.
we've been around the block enough times to know where we belong, so we have that luxury. We know where our home is, right? And that's under the black banner and together, wherever that is. It doesn't matter. We finally staked our claim where we prefer it, so that's where we're intending to stay until, you know, something breaks that down, but the black is where we belong, and it will always be where we belong.
So, Albert, we go black and just fight off the endless hordes until they leave us alone.
It's a way to do it. And I'm not saying we won't help you. Like, we've stated, if you lot were to, either it be through an alliance such as we have, or becoming a singular crew, we'd be able to hold down both ports, and we'd be more than happy to help you defend this place if that's what you choose, right? Like, I view the lot of you as very close friends at this point, right? We've had enough time to consider that, so would I show up to defend your port? Most certainly.
I would argue so would Uwu. They
Aye.
back black sails.
They may have sank you in the past, but we have good terms with them.
Do I have to
And
give
to
them
be
my
And
toes?
it was
aside, No.
What?
Aside from
They
your
don't
sail
want your
colors,
house?
I'm gonna say this. Aside from your sail colors, there's not a lot of difference between you and them, right? They
Yeah, y'all
are.
would
No.
probably get along very well.
No, they're fine with you guys. Like when they sank you, it was just your sail color. It wasn't you guys.
Purely
Like,
because
they'd
of the red.
Let's,
Now
you
that
know,
said,
We warned
you
you.
know,
We
I make
told
the
you what
joke.
would happen.
We're just pirates who were just getting paid by the Navy to do what we would have done anyways.
Yeah, with less freedom,
Yeah.
and it's
It-
boring.
also, if you can find people worth getting paid for,
Right.
we get paid by civilians, whether they like it or not. So, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you guys just take their flag and the crate off the boat and you get paid.
And give them some pizza, and then we're out.
Yeah, yeah. But again, we're digressing. It's not our intent to force you into anything. So I think I'll leave it at that.
It's something to discuss with them. Figure out going forward.
Also, Elma, it was a pleasure being on your ship this evening. So thank you for having us. Yeah.
Pleasure having you
We
guys.
know what a
You
risk
guys
it
are
was.
fantastic cannoneers. Not a risk at all. Always happy to have you aboard.
Yeah, it was a good time.
Just hoping that you guys, I know we got a little dare I say fucking purple ball. That's how fucking tight the clinch was on them babies. We got a little taste, and that was it. But at least it was, and I feel bad for everybody that was on the schooner because you got nothing. You had to sit it out, and that made me feel.
Yeah,
And
no,
do we want to
I
talk
did feel
about
bad.
what we talked about back there with everyone's here? Everyone's taking your
details.
words a lot.
I'm here. I'll fill in any details.
Aaron, so we're talking to you directly, but then before talking to everybody, then we was like, well, fuck it, we might as well just talk to everybody and you instead of having multiple conversations about the same topic. But while you were over here talking probably about the same thing, we were over there talking about similar things. Yeah, I mean, I'll be honest. Elmer, what color were you and your crew flying before you joined us?
White sails.
Okay, but what color were you going to fly?
Oh man. Well, Captain here. He brought us in under a guise of the darker color for sure.
Uh-huh.
Been a pirate my whole
Aaron.
fucking life.
Aye.
What has been the overwhelming color that our crew has also wanted to fly?
The black.
So this isn't something we don't want to do, okay? But here's what a choice that we have to make. I don't care about having to fight. I'll sit here and I'll fucking fight, and I'll fight every fucking day, and every fucking person that comes in red flare, I'll send fucking mortars on them. I don't give a shit. I've done it before. I've fought before. I've had. It's been years of me doing this. I sailed the black a long time ago. Okay, I used to run a company many years ago, called the Circle. I went by a different name. Funny enough, met a woman named tonight with a very similar name. My name was Fea. This is a name that I was born with. I chose to come back here and not go by that name, since I was going to be sailing the Red. I didn't know who would know me by that name. Okay. This is a life I knew. The Black. But what I don't want to do is just go, oh, yeah, Navy, we're not getting enough fights, so we're going to go to the Black. Because I'm sure we can all agree here how fucking goofy that sounds.
Aye.
Aye?
Aye.
Agreed.
So what we want is we need to put ourselves in a situation that is a bit better in terms of us flipping our sails.
I think we are already in that situation. I don't. You might not have been around when I said it earlier, but we got white we got civilians that just talk to us any which way and think that's fine. You know, they come into our own port and trash us. Now we got these Red Dawn guys. They always show up out of nowhere. Right when we're about to get some work done. They're stepping on our toes. We got the Navy. Just living under their boot. Oh, we're gonna take care of 40 of their men for a weekend. What kind of freedom is that?
Hey.
That is a good way to look at it.
Shit, Captain. You make me shed a tear.
It's something similar to what you were saying as well, correct?
Mm-hmm. We should
But
also
yes, what
probably
I want-
shuffle a bit. We have been standing here for...
Yeah, we should move the circle.
We could also move it all to the meeting hall.
Let's go to the
honestly.
meeting
That's
hall.
all.
Let's use we have a meeting hall.
To the
for-
booze!
But that's what the docks are for. That's where you get the most important talks is on the docks.
There should be plenty
I've had
of
millions of
always the docks.
stock.
had
Unofficial
millions of
meeting
them.
halls, the dock.
Back in my homeland, it was a fucking gazebo.
Back in
That's
my
why I hate
day.
them. Shut up.
To the gazebo!
Shut
It's not a fucking gazebo. I hate gazebo.
Wait, do we still have those?
Yeah, we should.
This is a gazebo.
Look, if you lot don't have booze, you know.
There's some in
whichever way
that
this
cabinet.
Discussion goes. I will
Yeah, I
bring
got
you some. I got a little bit of black ale here. Fucking this
Alright,
suits the
this
situation.
Right here,
barrel
I
over
got
here
your
is unlocked.
booze. I'm gonna put it in here.
I'm having brandy tonight. I fucking deserve it.
Brandy's good.
On the ground there.
I'm having
Ooh.
fucking.
That's siren piss though, so don't drink too much of it.
No, I thought the siren piss went away and the stuff
did,
that's in there
got
now.
bad.
Reese
is
will
the
drink a
booze.
lot of
no,
siren
no,
piss.
I poured a bunch of shots.
The fuck? I don't. No, I will not. Maybe you would.
I'm not the one trying to marry a siren.
Well, you're the one that wants to name a ship the Golden Shower. I don't want to hear it from you.
Oh, that's a
What's
great
wrong
ship
with the
name.
golden shower?
That's an awful name for a ship. I will not sail on
That is
this
a
ship.
fantastic name.
I'll go fucking hang out on another.
Making it
island
rain
and
cannonballs
write
on
books.
them from the golden shower.
So fire.
Pickens yellow.
All gold and yellow ship. Paint the cannonballs yellow.
Only fires yellow flares.
No.
I.
All right, sorry, you had more to say, I think.
I mean, I think Chuck had some good things there, and that was something I was talking about with Elmer. What it comes down to is I didn't want it just to be people's perception of, oh, we just don't fight enough, and that's why we want to do this. You know, there's so much more to selling the black than just fighting. It is about so much more, and I think that
Right.
most people in this room, if not all, need understand that. It's about being
we've
free.
That's what we've been doing this entire time. I mean, how much fighting do you
I
think
know.
we've gotten into on the skunk, right? Like,
Yeah.
for us, it's about living our lives the way we want. No one gets to tell us what to do, right? It's your life and your crew's life, and that's what matters in the end. Sure, you may meet people along the way. Your crew gets larger. That's the way of the world. And you tend to that the best you can. And no one else gets to tell you how to do that. Fucking no one.
I just want the best way to articulate this to flip our sails. And I want everyone to know my opinion on it is I don't want to move.
I don't want to move.
We put too much
If-
work into this place, you know?
If we end up surrounded and besieged and it comes to a point where the crew's more important than Iraq, then obviously I'm But
Right.
we're not there, and we don't need to be making moves to go trade stuff off.
No.
We don't know.
Because Elmer, you articulated it correctly. If you want to say what you said about moving and everything again.
Did I say?
So sorry.
It was
I'm so
what we do is we go move, we spend another week or two building and getting ourselves prepped up and together, and then we get out there, and people are tired of doing it all over fucking again.
Yes.
And then we don't get shit when we get out there again.
Yeah. We get into we say, okay, listen, we're gonna get out of here. We would be surrounded. It's a safer bet to get out of here. Well, we spend 2 weeks setting everything back up, and then people start getting real sleepy, and then we're out there, and then there's no one out there. You know what I mean? Now it's. I'm not saying we're on a time crunch here, but it's also a now or never type of thing. You know what I mean? You think we're the only ones who are having conversations like this, going out there and coming home empty-handed? I'm sure all the other red sails are too. I'm sure the Navy is too. They're probably double pissed. They don't get to fight,
I'll be honest, I feel like they're all getting out earlier than us and catching. Everybody's getting their fucking fights in, and they're going home licking their wounds on either side. And then we get out late, and there's not shit out there.
You
It
saw
also
people
comes
out there
with-
late.
Just the wrong
not
color.
black
Or be entangled.
Wrong color flags.
Yeah.
I got it. We'll be the
Also
Black
comes with-
Dusk.
Yeah, you
Oh.
don't need to
Think about it.
see how it does.
Red Dawn.
Red Dawn, Black Dusk.
Dawn.
You're
Pistols
crazy.
at dawn.
Pistols at dawn.
But with that comes, it's not all about going out and fighting, right?
Exactly.
Like, we spend a lot of our time going out in the middle of the night fucking pirating folks. There's more on the waters than just the fights that comes from this. And as far as
So
those
good old
adventures-
pirating. Oh.
Good old pirating.
Calm down, Ivan. Calm down.
Now, we would have taken Ivan's junk, not his shoes. Racoons got
Oh?
clean shoes.
Oh, you on it, do
Oh,
you?
you missed the
Yeah,
ball.
you bet.
All
Oh,
right.
I didn't miss it. I was there.
We get together after.
Have we pirated you guys this season? I don't think so.
Chicken pizza, right?
Maybe?
Oh, I know.
A
what
stream with the
junk is.
vaping sounds. Let's go. Come and pirate me.
But, I mean, like we said, there's no need for you to move, aside from... our thought on that was simply, you're going to get sieged. Like, by someone. It's going to happen. I mean, we know Red Dawn has been port diving Uwu, right? So...
We've been pirated
our
by.
thought was not to be like, oh yeah...
We
you're
fought
gonna-
Blackspire.
alright,
We've been
like we
pirated
said,
by.
we can use Uppies
Who
as an
is it?
outpost, which serves two
Bungee
purposes,
smugglers.
right? First off,
And one
defend
other, I
this
think.
place. We come out here, we help defend it. I have no problem going between two ports, right? But Uppies is there in case this place ever falls. It's a place that
Alright.
not everyone will know where you're going. It's a place where if you do have to get a foothold again quickly, it's easier to do so. We can build it up a bit more, so that way there's barracks and things for folks should they need to spend time there. The only part of that that would need to change is I believe we would need another person or two to stay there regularly, right? So it depends on if there are folk who would want to do that, because the outpost does, I believe, have to have, is it a quarter of the crew?
I think it's
At
5.
least 2 or 5, yeah, not many.
We'll have to look up on the books.
An idea.
I have no idea about any of this.
But either way,
Yeah.
it gives a level of
Up two guys
place
to your
to
port
fall
last
back
night. Took
on
food, booze.
without anyone having to
Those
move.
shoes the time before. I don't know. I haven't been told anything about this. You might have hit somebody else. The bugs are so loud.
They are very.
Kind of like.
Huh?
Who's walking outside?
Ivan?
Ivan.
Walking around?
He's taking the balls for a walk.
I don't know.
Oh, I don't understand. Air it out, I guess. On plate armor all the time, I imagine it gets over us.
It's probably stuffy as hell, isn't it?
Yeah, imagine. Fuck.
Oh, I can change.
No, Elmer knows why I do that.
I'll be honest. I don't
Sometimes.
even know if we have to go and fucking rip
Everybody
up these
refer to me
papers.
and say, "I know what you're talking about," and I'm just over here stoned as fuck, eating some goddamn potatoes that Dixie made. And I'm listening. Sorry, continue.
I mean, we just had a whole ass conversation, Elmer. You know, you got to remember some of it.
I know.
We had the fucking doc meeting.
We had doc meeting.
Doc meeting.
I mean, the big thing you gotta
meetings at dawn.
take into account is the first time the Navy pulls their ass up in here after all those sails go dark, and you tell them to fuck off, it's gonna be very interesting.
We did just tell them that we finished the resupply station too.
Even better,
What?
so when they pull in, you start bombarding them and you say, you need a fucking resupply?
Maybe they find out in a different way.
Yeah, I'd rather them find out in a different way.
I'd like to see them pull another crew out of their head.
Oh yeah, that was funny.
That was crazy. I forgot about that. Yeah. Good.
But you will have to face that, because they will sail into here, thinking it's a place where they're gonna be safe.
Unless they find out somehow.
Be
Maybe
crazy to,
it'd
you know,
be one of
find the
those where
Navy and paint
meet
the
'em
sails
all.
in front of them.
No. What we do is get money out of them for the privilege. and
That
have
just
somebody
went through
go
my
up there
head
and
as soon
make
as
a
you said it
report.
too. Like a
Yeah,
second
why don't you
before
just
that.
sail to their port and give them a fine for not dealing with the Ulu, right? Like, fine them, and when they refuse or pay the fine, you paint your sails black in their port and sail the fuck off.
And I'm the dramatic one?
I wanted to find them
I
for
like
taking
drawing
all of our
sometimes.
trees, and we got 2 fountains.
Good.
No. Well, I mean, I'm really
love
happy.
our
I like my
fountains.
fucking fountains. I really like those.
Fountain.
I got
We
2
did
of them.
such a good. Yeah.
Yeah.
Did such
I said you'd probably give up every tree here for it.
Yeah, as a builder, like, I would love my fountain.
In
But
pirate
besides the point-
fountains?
I mean, I'm happy. I'm done with them now. I got
You
the
just
fucking
did.
fountain. Yeah. Those things are probably
That
worth more
pirated
than 7
boots
gold.
today.
Yeah, you said I got my fountains, black sails, red flare.
The thing is, before we do this, okay, we're not doing it tomorrow. We're not going to do it the day after tomorrow. Okay. We need to prepare ourselves. We need a metric fuck ton of mortar shots. Of
Harbor
everything.
cannon.
Like, we need a lot of supplies. We have materials, but we don't have a siege master to make a lot of things for us. We need to make sure across the board, all our,
Could I do
you know,
both?
I's are dotted, T's are crossed, that sort of shit, right? We need to work out logistics. We need to be prepared, not
Yeah,
just
but-
a quick.
I don't think this is
Go ahead.
Put some more walls up.
20, 30.
Look, I faintly,
Dude, that
you know,
might be-
remember. You know, I don't know who else remembers.
I
but,
could do
you
it.
know,
I don't know.
I've heard tales of a place called Hell.
I don't think I have
Creek in
enough,
the- in a
because I'm
walled-off
already-
entire area, so I'm used to it.
Speaking of some sort of cave,
Yep, some sort of cave. There was, you know, built walls built all the way up to the top of it. Yep.
Because that's 300 points.
well,
I don't think you
unfortunately,
have
we got
300
no-
points, do you?
No top to this place. We can probably add some more walls.
Even
Well,
building
then we'll
like
build
a
up to the
roundabout
clouds,
out there.
and we'll call it
wouldn't hurt.
balls deep.
Yeah, have you all thought about a roundabout?
Those are great. It's almost as good as
I-
natural shallows.
I feel like I have a different idea of what that means, and I'm incorrect.
We had a roundabout once. It was universally
roundabout
hated.
right at the seawall.
Yeah.
Yeah. On the backside of the roundabout, you have 3 harpoons, and you surround it with mortar fire. Anyone sails in there that's not supposed to and doesn't know what they're doing, they're gonna have a real fucking bad time.
Good idea.
However, anyone you do want to come in your port will also hate it. So, be wary of that.
Except for you guys, because you guys will know how to deal with it.
Yeah, likely. I mean, our roundabout, most folks
Hello.
have to go through it at about 2 knots. We went through it about 13, so...
We just drifted around the fucker, like.
Yeah. Yep.
Now that's something I can get behind. Die. Well, I think the next 2 days are going to be very interesting. We do have much to do. Defenses, resources, and such. Make sure all our ducks are in a row. We're going to do this. It's going to get crazy.
Adventure we on today? Well, we went out patrolling for the first time
How close are
tandem.
we to getting that galleon in the water?
We could drop it today. It just needs to be like
I just have to
decorated
decorate
and
it.
stuff.
Yeah.
The benches go down and whatnot.
I think the other thing we need to do is implement a buddy system. Nobody goes alone.
You get 314 points.
Yeah.
So literally, I
wanna
could
gain
do
freedom, not lose it. Damn it. Just kidding.
Gotta be
It's a good idea.
5,
To stand a bit on what Elmer
305,
said,
and then I have
obviously,
9
yes,
left.
This is something that needs a lot of preparation. It needs to be done.
I can't do
in a
anything
fashion
in
that
captaining.
makes no sense for you, but also not in so long a fashion as the waters aren't forever, right? As
Exactly, yeah.
he was mentioning. So it's a big move. It certainly is. I'm not taking that for granted, but yeah, whatever we can do to help, by all means. Like I've said many a time, and I don't know that I could stress the truth behind this. We are a small crew, but we are a very capable crew. So,
Do you have a siege master?
We can find one. I mean, I think we have someone who can wake up at the moment. Don't have an excessive amount of blasting powder at the moment. We can certainly get it, but
Yeah, we just need ours to wake up. Do we have a siege master?
We do.
we don't.
could
We
I mean,
don't
we
have
could
a
get
full
him
siege-
awake. Like it's
we
just.
don't have a full siege
Right,
master,
right.
but we do have coin.
So do we.
Can have a
And
siege
anchor.
master. Also, what I do is likely to change slightly with this relationship. So, I'm going to have to change things around regardless. I could certainly take up Siege Master for a period of time. I've dabbled in it before. It's not something I wholly remember, but I can get there.
Do you have a blacksmith?
You are
We
a
have access
blacksmith,
to
are you
one.
not?
Yeah, isn't it?
Yeah, we have access to a good one, correct?
I'm the blacksmith for us, but that's what I was my question. If you had double on something, that would just kind of help determine where a forward.
We don't. Like, my intent going forward, like, I'll be honest, if I don't have to do shipwriting and count on someone else to supply things for that, I'm likely going to be a bit more combative, more useful on cannons.
We
and
have
do
like
my
4
brewing.
fucking shipwrights on our island.
Yeah, we know enough people to get ship things from. So, and then there's also...
You need a ship, Grim will make you
Oh.
one.
Yeah,
Actually,
we have a very smart shipwright already. And we have traders nearby that are very skilled, correct? Yeah, very smart.
Yep, we were smart.
And my brew stores are well enough that I can
Good
stock up on that, and then I can jump over to Siege Master for a time. So, if I have a place to work, I can do that, and we shouldn't have any problems getting that stockpiled.
And
So
as you
maybe
just
I missed
mentioned,
that conversation though. Like, is with this, are we going to be coming under one flag between
We
the
can
two
do
of
it that.
us?
The benefits to both, right? And
Right.
and downsides to both. Benefits to both. We have complete access and complete use of everything together. We're not wholly attached to our company crew name, right? Like we'd still have the port over there, and it would be an outpost. Downside, we're gonna really have to think about how we utilize our ships, right? So I would assume we're gonna need to have enough ships that can go out, and we're gonna have to have ships for civilian use that we need, but we're also gonna have to split those between ports because we're gonna need the ferry back and forth between.
Goodbye.
Well, we'll be big enough.
I'd
That we
buy
can have
ideas
50
for
vessels.
ships.
I don't know how many you lot have
I'm still
currently.
listening. I
We
just
have
have to go put cloth out upstairs. I'm gonna
A
press
lot of like
Do you know what your
the
ship count is currently?
11.
11.
Okay, so we can have 15. We have what?
6.
6. So we'd need to cut 2 ships somewhere.
You
Finally,
can,
we can get rid of the faux fire.
well, here's, you
Yeah.
guys can get rid of the whisk taker, because, I mean, I haven't taken it out yet, and I haven't had time.
Yeah, I
Can
meant
also-
to ask you about that. Can you guys make the little woo into a kitchen / breeding?
Yeah, that's what I was just gonna
Camera
offer. If
use?
we wanted to put like the fishing
Hey.
things pods on the roof and go.
And that works. We can condense, yeah. You can get rid of the whisk taker, and then if I need to go out fishing or something and whatnot, I can put fishing trawlers on there.
Yeah, and
I
frankly,
mean,
as
you know,
long as I run around doing
We
trades,
don't
I can
even
just drop
need
the
to-
sails anyway.
We don't even really need to quote unquote merge because we would have 2 ports, like if the alliance is a thing. So
Right. The big
it just makes
downside.
it easier.
to access each other's stuff.
Yeah, a lot of
biggest
the rat
downside
names stopped
is
getting used.
accessing things on ships and backup captaining. Like I can't jump on the helm of a ship if a captain goes
Yeah.
down, right? So, or say we're out doing schooner brig tandem, and Aaron's on board my vessel. He can't take my place if I go down, right? So
Frankly, with those doors open, anybody can. If we are boarded, they can just
Yeah.
go downstairs and just take
Yeah.
it all.
I'm not
But if we
against
merge,
it by
are
any
we
means.
able to have 2 ports if we merge?
Yes.
fully?
Yeah, they'd
because
be
they're
an
an
outpost.
Okay.
we would just potentially
Which-
need 1 or 2 other folk to, quote unquote, live there.
Would
Mm.
we be able to claim both islands? Or would we have to drop one?
That we'd have to drop 1, which then becomes which one do we want to drop? So I don't think we never really cared much about absolutely having our island, but also, I mean, it doesn't matter either way. We don't really gain much from owning an island aside from proliferating the taxation rate. So,
Taxation is theft.
Yeah, we don't
Neither
tax.
of us tax.
We don't
Same.
tax. The only reason why we have ownership of ours is to prevent other people from having ownership of it.
Alright, that's what we did here. Lee,
realistically,
how much do you know the Black Hound people across the way?
they seem like good folk from what we've met of them.
They seem like they could
I-
also be pirates.
They well, no,
Aye.
I do know. I did receive information. They are going to be, even if it is with an alliance, sailing the black with someone.
Yeah, no,
They
they're
are.
pirates.
I
I'm
think
so
they're going
proud
to
of
be-
them.
I'm very
Just a
proud.
single player.
But it could be.
I thought, see, I don't know why it's like.
They do have this
It's
large
rodent
trade port
right-
they're
right.
building, and us keeping this place here.
You know?
Aye.
But we could be pushed off with us having black sails, which would be unfortunate.
I don't think they'd push
they
you
would do
off.
that personally. From our meetings with them, like they are, if nothing else, they are Black Sail sympathizers through and through.
Yeah.
They've dealt with our bullshit regularly.
We went up to them and we're like, we're pirates. And they're like, want grenades? And we're like, sure. Like, I mean, yeah, I don't know.
So,
So-
it is a thought. So we'll have to figure that one out.
As far as ships go with that, though, if you have 11 and we have 6, we can easily get rid of probably the Horde, and you said
mean,
you had a
yeah,
vessel, so that puts us down to...
You guys could probably get rid of the 2
25.
million wood because we'll have a galleon here.
Aye, as long as Anka has access to a large ship to load up with things, I don't think he'll mind.
We have
what
the
Drop my
the
armored
undercoat
brig.
and the
Brig and a
galleon,
galleon.
so-
Yeah, we could drop your armored brig because if you want to be the schooner captain, or if you and Graham honestly you could rotate out,
Yeah.
whatever you feel like doing.
I'll tell
Still
you right
going
now,
shit.
Anchor really doesn't have a lot of interest in dealing with the galleon.
Okay.
We
so
have a
can
brig
make
as
sure that-
well.
Okay. Yeah, hold a brig.
Yeah, we got
We'll
both.
run
The
other
only reason we have
things
the galleon
by-
is for like massive loads with
Yeah,
everyone.
it's for taking the crew out.
Yeah.
Which we're fine with. We're used to it. Like, the Raccoon and I used to sail a galleon out, just the two of us, every fucking night to farm resources when we were red sailing, so it's not something we're unfamiliar with, and it's certainly not something we're unwilling to help with either, right? That's another benefit of being a singular crew is
Outreach
that,
trauma.
yeah. So,
I showed
yeah,
everyone what the
easily
fire
we
guys
can
look like.
find-
Oh, good. No pilot trauma.
Yo, fuck those fucking flying things, whatever they're called.
Oh, the murder
Not
birds.
the
Those are
fire guys,
great.
The murder birds. No, fuck
Yeah.
that.
I watched both fucking Klaus and the Raccoon get fucking snatched up by those when we were out there. That was entertaining. Klaus got the shit beat out of him.
Yeah, he did.
The disease itself.
Aaron, you talked about your idea of leadership. That's another topic.
No, I haven't gotten that
to go
far at
through.
all. It was more of what are we doing first before that topic came up.
Right.
And it would be a essentially like a shared leadership between the three of us. Between guessing Brad, you lead your crew, I lead mine, and then Elmer here behind me seems to be one who leads most of his crew. We're three separate crews together, so he feels less represented. And with it being three, we could never tie. Because I think that's how numbers
It's
work.
our own- as much as I hate the use of this word, it is fitting. It's our own personal little brother in court.
I knew you were gonna say that. Oh, I was waiting for it. I'm like, oh, it's gonna happen. He's gonna
Look,
say
if
the
there's
word.
ever a fitting,
God damn it!
reasonable, yeah,
Tribunal.
The triangle of power.
It's a triumvirate.
the triumvirate of dusk.
Triumvirate of us. That's our new name.
Oh no.
Right now, the alliance is the rodents, by the way. Because we call you the raccoons.
Also,
Yeah, that works.
Raccoon is kind of a rodent.
we do. I'm also, I don't know about everybody, but I'm also not opposed to changing Scamper Bay to something else, or something under,
No.
you know, all of us under a new name.
Wooden train.
Scamper Bay was going, we were going to be like a little, you know, trading thing, and then we just sort of,
Then we were gonna be rats on sloops, and then
yeah,
now we have way too many to be rats on sloops.
yeah.
But you can still be rats on sleeps.
My dream
That would be
was
glorious.
to someone come like to the home waters and it'd be like, oh look, they're fighting us, and then we just put 6 sloops out there with 1 cannon and 1 captain.
I just
sounds
had
like
a
Brad's
fucking great
dream.
name. I had a great name popping in my head.
Oh God.
What is it?
The Outnumbered.
I don't think I got it.
Because we're outnumbered, buddy.
Because there's no black sails.
Oh.
Yeah, there you go.
I see.
Look. You just take all 3 crews and we name ourselves Raccoon Paw.
You know, I'm not against
I
that.
actually love
I'm not either.
You have the Iron Dawn and you have Raccoon Paw, like.
I mean, the Rodent sort of works for all of it, I'll be honest, because
It
Southpaw, the fucking
Vermin.
rats, the raccoons, the vermin. That's all of a bunch of.
We're the Vermintide.
I love it.
Yeah,
I was
the
going
no.
to say
Vermintide.
Vermintide.
No.
No.
Vermin Bay.
I hate that. I love it.
Right?
I love it so much.
I'll be honest. Aside from being the one who said it, I actually like Raccoon Paw because it's different and it's not overly edgy, right? But
I worry
But
about the use of.
I'm open to a lot of.
You'd have to just spell raccoon.
Yeah.
You couldn't put, the 3
Yeah.
separate.
Yeah.
Right,
Everybody
right.
would either
No,
call
it'd
us
be
rats
one
or
word.
raccoons.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, we could go with like the vermin. I'm fine with that.
Vermin or yeah.
Verminous, kind of. I love it, but
It's kind of fitting.
Kinda
It sort of puts
grimy,
the
yeah.
words fucking out, yeah.
I mean, I like. I'm kind of okay with grimy. I
We
like
can just-
looking,
we can just be
feral
called the
when I
Mischief.
dress.
That is
Mischief.
true.
The vermin
Mischief.
of Port
We're-
Uppies and the vermin of Scamper Bay.
A group of rats are called the mischief. We can just be the mischief.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, yeah.
Overall,
Not
I'm
all
not
of
too
us are
picky on
rats.
crew names, as long as it's not
No.
overly Iron Dawn.
Oh god, no, I don't want any ship
Dawn,
that's like
Red
Red
Dawn.
Tomb,
Red Dawn.
Red Death.
I just like the idea of them all getting together and being like, so ship names, like they all have to start with red, right? And then
Yeah.
like fucking Jiminy Bobby's like, my favorite color's red, and they were like, yeah, and like that was just like the conversation. Like
When I
that
was there
it.
working on that building, they were like building a ship, and they're like, "It's not red enough. Make it more red.
Yep.
More red. No, it's not red enough." It was so dramatic.
A golden shower with black sails.
No,
Some
we're
people
not. We're
orange.
not going to sail
That
with you
is
on the
so
golden
perfect.
shower.
I'm with you on that, Aaron. I'm with
We'll
you
make
on
it a
that.
sloop,
You
Jay.
two little piss babies can
Yeah,
fucking
just
enjoy
me
that
and you on
together.
sloop.
Freaks.
You're riding tandem with
We
the
don't need a
golden
bosun on
shower.
the golden shower. We don't need a bosun on the golden
Absolutely
shower.
Oh my god, two brothers playing on the fucking little piss babies. They're just freaks. I'm not here for it.
The piss
I don't kink
twins.
shame, but I'm not. No, you're nasty.
Can we name the galleon the golden shower?
No.
Absolutely not.
I wanted to call it the pack rat.
Freeze with
There you go.
on top of that.
That's probably
Absolutely
super
fucking
name.
not. The
Yeah, but if I said, oh, let's call, a sloop a mermaid wife or something, you'd be like, oh, that's so great.
no, I would want the opinions of everyone that is using it. That is how I am.
Good. Then
You
me
No,
and
know,
Jay-
because
gonna
he only
be
wants the
easier for
cannon
you to
so he
find
can
a
say he's
pirate
mounting
when
the
you're
mermaid wife.
You do need to keep two black sail sloops. That way we can tandem in the dead of night, right? Right.
The golden
Alright.
shower and the sky.
I fucking hate.
I hate it. I hate it so much, Jay.
Wow.
The golden shower has to be nothing but the 8-pounders.
I think it's funny. I do, but I'm twisted.
So am I.
I still like Vermintide, frankly.
I'm
I
not
like that
peeing
thing.
on you, okay? That's fucking nasty. I like vermin. Mischief is cute, but I also feel like I've heard that before.
Do better.
Overseas.
We can do better.
Yeah.
We could do better.
Everyone wouldn't
We
get
can
the
cook
mischief.
on
They would
that
just think we're just being, oh, because
Little-
you're
Yeah.
criminals.
Little guys.
Yeah.
To get your heart
Yeah.
fucking racing when you hear it.
That's why I
The
like
vermin.
vermin. Vermin's pretty it's gross. It's a little grotesque. Gnarly. Feral.
How about the rabid raccoons?
Shut the fuck up.
Raccoons aren't rabbit, okay? We're clean. It's
I mean, if you want to just fucking piss off Red Dawn as much as possible, you just call it the Raccoons, and they'll fucking.
And
leave
now
that
we're
shit.
the
Like,
raccoon.
I'm like, can any of you fucking swim? Hmm? Where's the
I
knife?
don't- Fires the mortar. I don't know. Can you?
Did we tell them what Admiral Blood Pressure did when he came to our port? Did we tell them that he came to our port? They came to our port right after you guys, by the way.
That was
Yeah,
the
I
most
remember you mentioned
ADHD
it, yeah.
sentence I've ever heard.
Get used to it.
Oh,
Yeah,
don't
do
worry.
we
I
have
am.
anything else we wanted to cover in this conversation? Because we do have many
Oh,
things we need to try and...
sorry.
No, it's okay. Believe me, I got squirrel brain. I'm just trying to... I want to knock this out so we don't have to do it
That's
6
exciting. Oh,
times.
squirrel. Here's a new company name.
So
Instead of
it's
vermin,
it's
squirrel.
Alliance versus Merge.
We could vote
oh,
on it.
Could vote on it.
We would have to make some decisions, because our crew has some people that aren't able to wake up very often but want to. You have guessed.
Red flare 'em. This is how we lose it.
Oh, is that that's
The thing I
no,
was gonna
he's-
say
he's
about that,
friend, he's friend.
Raccoon,
Mhm.
is we just make them a crew, and we alliance with
They're
them,
looking for.
and they can still sail
It's
with
a
us.
Silas
but they're
looking
not
for
awake that
Chuck or
often, so it
Bjorn.
doesn't affect them as
Come on,
much.
Chuck. It's all you.
So that's it. Like,
Potentially, we can talk it over.
No
We've got
shitty
things
zero.
to
I need to go
talk
get
about.
He's
food.
wearing the same shirt as
We do.
his
I need to
friend.
go to bed.
I need food. I'm hungry. It's so far to get food. the jump smoke.
I mean, I have it at port. I just forgot it on.
Go away.
Well, we all on the same page for right now, or we have more?
So how much room do we have right now, Elmer or Aaron? We are.
We can have 7 more
18,
people.
but we have 2 sleepers. So is that counting the sleepers?
That's counting the sleepers. We could have 7.
Okay.
How many do you guys have in total? With your sleepers?
I'd say folks that with sleepers 10, but it really depends on talking to some of the people who've been asleep a lot. I know there's 2 that have been waking up here and there, and there's another 2 that potentially want to. But what I was mentioning to the Raccoon is, if it comes to it, and we do decide to bring the crews together rather than doing the alliance, we could just have that group who does want to come out on occasion when they can, set up on the island we're on, and start an alliance with them. Because as far as I know, our main island would be this island, so we would consider, I think. So we could set it up one way or another, where we can have them sail if they wanted to.
That would be a problem since they share the grid with you in our outpost.
We'll figure something out, but we really, what we have to do is talk to these folks and see what their real intentions are, right? Because, like I said, you've seen it. It's been the 4 of us mostly, and I don't. As much as I don't want to tell anyone who's part of the crew, like, hey, we don't have the space to take you elsewhere. We have to think about the folks whose lives are here, predominantly, right? So.
Now, is it a 25 crew limit or is it 25 sailing limit?
Both.
It's a 25 crew limit unless you get an extension. I don't know that they're doing that this go around.
It would have to make sense if the for hours is.
Someone's taking the words, Elmer.
Like you said, it's predominantly like the people, right? Like, can't help people. It's tough because you want to make people happy, but you can't bend everybody else around so that it's got to be compromised. Sleepy, they're sleepy. Get it, but I mean, the one thing I don't understand is some commitment it is to be out here sailing the seas, right? So,
Aye.
I feel like some people get real involved and then fall very sleepy because just thinking they bit off more than they chew. But they still enjoy it. There's got to be a consistency, especially in something that.
I agree. We'll have a talk with the folks, like I'm sure you may have to do with your sleepers, depending on who is close with those folks, and we'll see where things drop.
I think one's easy.
On ours, yeah. Ours
One's
is
easy.
Sort of.
You just literally can't stay awake. So.
Yeah.
Not that she doesn't want to be awake, it's she can't stay awake.
Yeah, she literally can't. So it's a struggle.
Gets halfway through a grid and falls asleep for like 20 minutes.
Doctor that or no?
I don't know how to help it.
Issue.
That's a conversation for later.
Yeah.
I guess so. You guys have to decide, on moving forward with the remainder of your crew. We're basically ready for it as soon as we could figure out a way to drop our mark with a good reason. And not just, oh, we want to fight.
Fine.
Fine. Sounds as though you have your reason, you just have to find your way to put it out there. So, but we'll get things squared away and figure out where we're going with that. We'll try and coordinate as we can to get things up as far as that goes. Is there anything in particular other than my potential going Siege Master for a time that you need from us? Like,
The only
Nice
thing,
sales
Particular
stuff,
resources.
gun ports, cannons.
the only things we don't have are a brewer, a mixologist, and a very active gunsmith or siege.
I mean, brewing I can cover. So
But also with the gunsmith and those things is we can go to traders and
Mhm.
have our blueprints made by really intelligent people. So we're not wasting blueprints on people that can't make them really, really good.
we know a very intelligent shipwright, and do Ed and them have a gunsmith?
Yeah, Grim is also a really intelligent shipwright, so.
That's why I thought about getting rid of blacksmithing
Don't
just for making like
think
ammo or
so.
something.
Yeah.
I don't think they have a gunsmith. I know they have a. I know Adam, he makes all like the bows and stuff like that. I'm not sure like how smart he is.
And I'll say this, and I'm perfectly happy because I understand being a shipwright. If Grim's a very smart shipwright, I want him making our stuff. But if you want the absolute
Yeah.
best stuff, obviously civilians will always oust anyone from combat crew, right?
Yeah.
So,
Aye.
depending
good
on where
night.
we want to go with that, but I am 100% behind having our
Everybody
in-house
shuffle.
shipwright make everything.
Mm.
I don't care
And it'd
that
be a
much
conversation
about those
just to
changes.
have with him, Grim, on how you feel about that. Oh no.
You'd probably still be putting this stuff together. You just would have someone else making your
Yeah.
planks and stuff.
Yeah,
Or
but making it better.
dropping a really good shipyard for you.
Yeah.
How does that work with the
I just
shipyard?
want to make sure you're doing what you want to do.
Oh, they make
If
the
you
shipyard, then you
look-
build it.
They built those.
He even ran around.
Uh,
Not far enough.
EP pirate.
if you look at the ships, they have they're 3% better than
Mm-hmm.
normal ones.
Yeah.
I hate to do this, but I need to go to sleep. I think we're out of sleep.
Mm.
Okay. Good night.
Y'all have a good night.
Good night.
Night.
Good night.
I also don't want to be this person, but I mean, we got pretty strong tigers if people try to siege us.
Oh, you can keep that rabbit, Reese. if
You
want it.
can't. You
Yeah.
shouldn't use them that way.
Yeah.
It's very inhumane what you would be doing.
Yeah. Yeah. We wouldn't use tigers like that.
They're more for riding, fighting the things that come out of the maps, or just fucking taking care of the elephants.
I thought words came out of the maps.
No, those are on the
I
maps.
didn't think you had to fight them. Interesting.
Yeah.
I thought things came out of the ground when you did a map. I didn't know they came out of the map.
Grim's being
They-
smart.
We do need a bigger chandelier.
I mean, you
I
got
don't
one
think
right
they
now.
come any bigger.
Morning.
What's their name? Vermintide. Oh god, fuck off.
The EP stuff.
Sorry, it wasn't scrolling.
No, all the EP pirates.
The vermin, the mischief, were like the two big ones. But we're thinking the vermin.
Well, yeah, but I mean, I have nightmares in the morning. Look at you. You're so tired you can't even hit me.
The wooden rat paw.
I guess
Why?
the
Why?
other
Why?
thing that I
So
could say
dramatic.
is like, I mean, we got 3 breeders. If someone wants to take over tigers, I can literally go do siege. It's pretty cheap.
I'm never doing tigers again.
Or we can just like hold off on the tigers in the meantime, and I just go do siege.
We can find a siege master. Like, don't worry about that.
Yeah.
I want to give these some, see the one thing about
Alright,
it is
sorry about
you
that.
don't.
I'll do like.
Love you.
Even if I have to suck it up with the fucking Nort Whale people and have their siege master do shit, like, that's fine.
I don't think
I'll just do it. Do you know how much coin it costs to get the skills I currently have? It costs nothing.
I know. We just throw money at it. It's not that big.
I think
It cost me
Siege Master's
5.
good to be able to make the mortar shot and that. Other than that, like
The harbor cannonballs.
civilians.
So I would do it to
Yellow
stockpile
jars.
things for us, and then we just outsource everything, and we keep trading with white
Yeah.
sales to keep it up, right? Like
Yeah.
we just constantly make
We
deals with
can't
that,
let them
so
go
we
to
get
sleep.
enough.
Yep.
Yeah, like we stockpile it first,
And that's what Anchor
just to make
does.
sure
That's
we're good.
what. Exactly.
We trade with white sales regardless of what we need, right? Like it's important. White sales are extremely useful. We take what we want and we trade for the rest. That's how we deal with it.
And generally, it's small crews or smaller crews. Whenever we can
try
have
to
that.
we try not to deal with the dappers or.
We're not dealing with the dappers anymore.
yeah.
We're just not.
Ah,
I
fuck
can't-
We're not
those
dealing with
guys.
them at all. But
No.
you know what I
can't
meant.
have
I
another
didn't mean it
turn
as
up
in
for...
the dappers in particular.
Right.
I meant we don't deal with mega mutts if we can help it.
Yeah, Dapper
Understandable.
especially.
We do not deal with the dappers either. Nah.
You lot are
Leave it
gonna
at
love
that.
getting to meet Edward and crew. They are
Oh, they are. A
they are
great
something
crew.
else.
They found my art. Oh, okay. What else do we need to discuss here, like right this second, or is it on pause because people are going to bed?
I would say we got the ball rolling.
Mm-hmm.
Just leave it at what we have here, and we'll
Mm-hmm.
give it.
Start
to the end
getting
of the
things
weekend.
rolling.
Yep.
Convene, whether it's end of the weekend or part way through the weekend, depending on where things fall, right? So
Aye.
Exactly.
this weekend's gonna be spicy one way or another. So it just depends on how spicy you want to make it, right?
So
It's already gonna be spicy.
I will also say this, because I know, what is it, Dixie's the cook, correct?
Yeah.
I mean, if all else, I could, bonk my head and go into Siege or something else, and, stay that, so we have that covered.
I mean, if that's something that you want to do, I don't want you, if you like cooking and whatnot, I don't want you to have to, like, give it up just for us. Like, I don't mind.
As long as
you know.
Raccoon can get her happy meals, I think she's happy.
Well, as long as she tells me what it is, I will make her all the happy meals in the world if I need to.
Let's say it's that, with Raccoon, it's pizza and Happy Meals.
You know what? I can do that.
Basically, do we need to still keep
The
talking
Trash
about
Panda pizza and the Trash Panda Happy Meals.
Do we enjoy doing the things that we do? Yes. But at the end
That's
of
what I
the
told
day,
her. It's like, you guys need to talk to yours.
being around
You talk to
people
ours.
who it makes sense for us to be around, being with a crew that we enjoy means more than that. Being able to go out and do the things that we choose to do without being under the yoke of anything, including each other, is more important to us. So, we'll make it work, one way or another. There's a few inflexibilities, but like Anchor really likes building, and he's going to continue working on port uppies, but that's not a problem, right? Because Zara builds, and she can keep working on here. So, that doesn't pose any threat. And as far
they
as
can actually work
I
together
would say,
too.
I would say then if Zara had any questions and, wanted help, Anchor could easily come over here and...
Yeah,
Oh,
if
yeah.
there's he is an abundant wealth of information, and he will always share it. He doesn't go out of his way to tell people things outright because he doesn't want to be offensive. But if anyone ever asks him things, he's more than happy to offer what he knows. And he'll also tell you he doesn't know everything, right? Every time we make him build something, he learns something new because he sits there for a dog's age just learning, right? When we challenged him with port uppies, it was an adventure. It was not something we'd ever seen him do before, so.
And it looks great. It's turned out great.
Mm-hmm.
As does the port here.
And it's not even done.
Yeah, like Anchor has said a fair few times he enjoys the way this port has come together. And Anchor does not give out those compliments very lightly.
She's thinking, or
But that
she'd really
said-
appreciate the compliment.
Oh, I'm certain. And as far as the breeding goes, it sounds like there's no real overlap in that, right? So,
No, each of us do our own things, and we can work together on domestics.
yeah, I'm sure the raccoon would love help on the domestics. It's not exactly her favorite thing.
Oh,
especially
the
pigs.
amount of fucking animals we would have.
Look, as long as the kitchen's supplied with meat, I'm happy you
There
breed
will be
them. I
no
slaughter.
Also, we'll
I
have the
think we
only
have a lot
market
of
for
cows.
rhinos, right? The only market for
Yeah.
rhinos. There's not a single other person out there doing it that I know
I think
of.
we're
other
the only
than-
market for wolves.
I don't know if anyone else selling
And then-
animals in general, but I don't talk to many.
I would like to say that I think we're the best market.
Likely
Let's be
so.
too man.
But that said, all of that can be worked out easily as well. I don't think there's.
I love you all. I have to
Oh,
take
okay.
my leave, though.
Good night.
I'm
Night,
evening to you,
Ivan.
Ivan.
Yeah, I think it's
Night,
everyone's starting to
everybody.
turn in.
sorry. You can. I'll be here to this.
We've gotten the
I'm
large
Yes.
things sort of set out there. Everything else is just going to have to fall into place. And I have no doubt that the folks here can get to that. From what I've seen, that should not be a problem. Yeah, so it's just a matter of getting there. So first thing is figure out exactly what we need, how we reinforce this port, and how best makes sense to get you lot where you're headed. And then from there, we work on figuring out best way to mingle the crews, and then from there it's smooth sailing, right? So
Mm-hmm.
Hmm.
We also just got like 40,000 crystal for the doctors today.
Yeah, we have a
Reports.
garrison, and we keep getting more and more too. So
we need to pick one of
Have
those
to
up for our
garrisons.
island.
They're so good.
Yeah, we can talk to Anchor about it. He's used them before.
Aye.
All right. Good
That's
night,
what we
y'all.
get.
Good night.
Good night.
Good night, Elma.
Good night.
we can show you ours if you want. They're pretty good.
I don't even know what a garrison is.
You
They
put
pull
coin in it and it
resources
gives you
from the
resources.
land use. And it varies based on island. It's not even just on like your grid, right? Every island is different. It's very fucking crazy.
Oh, you get
Ours
something
is
different
pulling the
whenever
same
you-
as C2. I'll be honest.
That's a possibility. I know
Yeah.
we had someone in we had a few people in our grid last deployment, and theirs were completely different on their island.
Mm.
It was very dependent on that. So it could be just happenstance that you're getting similar to theirs.
Mm.
But
You get doctor supplies that way.
Yep.
Me and I can't remember his name all of a sudden. But we were hypothesizing that that might be why the Iron Crows say they can cure concussion.
They're getting beast blood from their garrison.
Oh.
Because we don't know where else, like, if they actually are, that
Yeah.
doctor said she could cure it. So, and I asked her, where are you getting it? She was like, the animals on the island. I'm like, no. Like,
That sounds
We
like
have-
a garrison to me.
We have the metal and the rock. We just don't have the wood
Shit,
yet,
I want to check
which I'll
them.
probably get tomorrow or later tonight. So I suppose we keep running it. We'll figure out what we're getting exactly.
you can definitely afford it.
Hmm.
mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah,
we can talk to
we're
Anchor
sitting
about it.
pretty
He can
close.
find a place and set them up. He's done it before.
Aye.
I set mine up in a really pretty place with trees, and then someone came and fucking chopped down all the goddamn trees again.
Now they owe us 2 fountains.
Wait, again?
Again, yeah. Someone chopped down the trees that were left over there. I'm really fucking. People are just fucking with me at this point. I'm going to buy a bunch of trees people can't chop down.
I'm going to buy a mute on a puckle.
Fucking.
Yeah.
Good luck if you
I
find
love
one.
and
let me
hate
know.
them, but I fucking wish. Keep people
The
out of my
raccoon will
day.
test how good they are by taking the horse out again.
Yeah.
It'll be just like old times, Raccoon.
Ha-
I want my
yeah.
beehive back.
Haven't been caught by a puckle since Kelpie days. You know, before the Kelpie days.
Huh?
Mhm.
That's not the name.
All
I
right.
don't know.
Well, with that, I suppose folks are starting to get to the nodding off stage, so we should probably get you home, Raccoon. But yeah, we'll figure out things as the days play by. We'll definitely make our way back out here. Probably each day. Not like we don't already fucking do that, but you know.
Yeah.
Well, getting the blasting powder for doing your mortars or whatever will be really easy. It's like we all have all the materials for it. It's literally just making it.
Yeah, I'll get back to working on making more saltpeter and everything. I've been
We're gonna need to
slacking,
make
but
a
we have to
fuck
net
load of spike shot
so.
too, because I really want to try
We're
out
a
a spike
fuck load
shot
of
schooner.
spike shot.
What's a spike shot schooner?
Do you know what spike shot does?
No?
So it's cannonball that you fire and it sticks into the planks rather than detonating immediately. And then when it's past a certain amount of time, or it gets hit by another cannonball, it explodes. So what you do is you pepper the entire side of a ship with spike shot, and then you unload on it, and all of their planks take a shitload of damage all at once.
Wait, I want a spike shot.
Right?
Spike shot's good for spike shot shooting as well.
Yeah,
Wait, that's like
yeah,
that'd
it's
be
good
really
shooting.
good with tandem sailing.
Yes, it would, which is why I want to make a schooner that
You get a
only shoots spike
schooner
shot.
roll up, shoot spike shot, then the brig comes
Finally,
with
the
them broadsides to spike
porcupine.
shot.
Yep, the porcupine can go.
Got the skunk and the porcupine.
Yeah, you put
The
8
vermin
mediums on
fleet.
one side, and you just sail up and spike shot the shit out of it, and then your brigantine fucking broadsides it. Watch an entire fucking ship just evaporate.
I like it.
That almost sounds as dirty as a shotgun brig.
Yeah, I mean, your cannoneers
Takes a
have
bit
to
more
know what they're
coordination,
doing, but
I
yeah.
guess.
Yeah, the shotguns were only a real problem when fucking mute crew existed, right? But either way, we can talk about all this later. I suppose we're gonna get on our way for now. Leave you lot to get business sort of the way you need to. But again,
I'm sure
we can't thank you enough for having us along, and you know, giving us the potential to be a part of something bigger. Yeah. So.
Hi.
Yeah, thank you for coming.
We all turned from small crews into one big crew.
And all
Yeah.
you know what?
That's
We
the way
have the
it goes,
chats to thank
though.
for it.
Yeah, that's just sort of how, you know what? That's how it should be. Yeah, so. Good Black Sail crew does not come into fruition overnight. Takes time, effort, and a whole lot of folk. Alright, you lot, shall we?
Stay safe. Watch out for all those red sails out there.
Yeah, fuck. Ugh.
Watch out for all those
Lord
black
knows
sails
we
out
won't
there.
get fucking pirated.
That's true.
Real.
Good night.
Good night.
Good night. Good night.
Good night.
Oh.
That is a really pretty fountain.
It's Our Lady Rat. Did you see the decorations in it, though?
No.
Mhm.
Dude, I need to go ahead and drop the
Coins.
galleon.